Today, I'm showing you guys how you can get a cheap gaming PC for Fortnite. If you didn't already know, I got my first gaming PC in the summer of 2019 for only $450. That $400 PC was actually worth around $1,200, and I was able to perfectly play Fortnite. I actually got over 144 FPS. I could record videos, I could edit YouTube videos, I could even stream on it. I'll tell you guys exactly how I did it right after I remind you to drop a like on the video if you enjoy or this video ends up helping you, and subscribe to my channel if you do enjoy Fortnite content. Alright, so there's a few very important do's and don'ts when it comes to buying PCs. One very important don't is don't buy a pre-built PC. They may seem really attractive because they're usually pretty cheap, but that's for a reason. 100% of the time, they're bad, they're made with bad quality parts, and you're just not gonna be satisfied with it. It'll basically be a waste of the hundreds of dollars that you spent on it. One very important do when it comes to PCs is do your own research. Someone who is uninformed and in the PC market is going to get screwed over one way or another. Whether it's because that person is uninformed and ends up buying a PC for way more than it's worth, or they buy bad quality parts, or they get parts that aren't compatible with each other and end up wasting money in that way. There's a lot of unfortunate things that can happen when you're buying a PC and you're uninformed. But the good news is that there's tons of Discord servers, Reddit threads, and I'm sure many other places where there's a ton of really knowledgeable people that are happy to answer any PC related question that you have. It is important to understand the basics of PCs before you go out and spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on one. My suggestion for most people is to either build a budget PC yourself, or if you're willing to spend a little bit extra money, have a company build your PC for you. And when I say have a company build a PC for you, I'm not talking about pre-builts. I'm talking about a company like Power GPU where you give them a budget, they send you back a parts list, and then you tell them to build it. You pay them a little build service fee, and then you pay for the shipping, and they'll build your entire PC and ship it out to you. So when it arrives on your doorstep, you can plug it in and it literally works perfectly. You don't have to do anything. Typically, if you go through someone like Power GPU, it'll cost about $250 to $300 extra between paying them to build the PC and then actually shipping out the entire PC. It's around $300 more compared if you just got all the parts and built the PC yourself. When I got my new upgraded PC in December of 2020, I actually went through them because I was nervous to build the PC myself. So I figured paying a premium to have a professional build my PC and ship it out to me was worth it. Plus, it's also warranted by them for an entire year in case anything happens to go wrong. And lucky me, I actually got to put their warranty to the test. My graphics card ended up having some issues in just about a week and a half ago. Both of my monitors just continuously went black. I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't even use my PC. So I had to ship back my graphics card, and Power GPU actually ended up sending me back an upgraded one. So I'm super appreciative of the people at Power GPU, and I definitely recommend their services if, like I said, you want to spend that little extra money to be able to have it professionally built and not have to worry about any of that sort of stuff. If you want to try and build the most budget, lowest cost PC and save as much money as possible, then I would suggest just building it yourself. But for this option, some pretty extensive research is necessary. When building your own PC, you have to know which parts to get, you have to make sure they're all compatible, you have to make sure they're quality parts. However, it's really good that you do this because then if you end up running into any troubles along the line of owning your PC, then you'll know where to start. You'll have some knowledge on the subject. But another big pro to building your PC yourself is that it doesn't have to be one big expense. If you're buying all the parts, you can like save up for your graphics card first, then you can save up your money for another few weeks or a month or so, and you can go out and buy your CPU. Then say with your next paycheck, you go out and you buy a case. Then the next you go out and buy some RAM, and you just keep doing that. So instead of just spending $1,000 or $2,000 at once, you're spending like $600 here, $400 here, $200 here, and you're more motivated because you're getting the parts in and you have more time to save. That's sort of just like a psychological thing, but it's nice to see progress. Like if you see a graphics card, you're gonna be like, wow, I really want to get this PC done, and you go out and work harder, you make more money, and you end up getting your PC faster. However, with my first PC, I didn't have a company build it, and I also didn't build it myself. I was actually able to get my first gaming PC PC used, meaning somebody else custom built it for around $1,200 and then they used it for about 8 months before selling it to me for only $450. I was able to do this by finding the PC on Facebook Marketplace. Now before you go straight over to Marketplace, I do have to warn you about a couple things. A lot of people on there actually try to sell pre-builts, so you want to use the filters and make sure that it's an actually used PC, and you want to make sure that the owner has a good reason for getting rid of it. Buying used electronics can get really sketchy, so you want to make sure that the reason the owner is selling the PC is valid and it's not because something is wrong, something is broke, or the PC just isn't good at all and isn't working properly. You also don't want to be impulsive. If you go straight over to Marketplace right now, there's probably not going to be a good deal. I was looking around at used PCs for around a month before this deal even came up, and when this deal did come up, it was first listed at about $650. I was able to negotiate that a little bit, get it down to $450, and I was able to figure out that my brother actually went to high school with the person that was selling this PC. So my brother was able to vouch for this guy's trustworthiness, plus his reason for getting rid of the PC is because he had just had a newborn daughter and simply didn't have time for it anymore. So this guy had a good reason for getting rid of the PC. He had built it 8 months prior, had evidence to back that up, was able to name off and show me detailed pictures of all the parts in the PC, and I was able to establish some sort of trust with this guy because my brother actually knew of him previously. These are a lot of factors to have all line up properly, which is why I don't suggest this for most people. However, it is still very much possible to find deals like this today. And going along with buying a full used PC, you can also significantly cut down costs by buying used PC parts. Again, all the same things apply. It can be sketchy, so you want to take proper precautions, but if it's done properly, you can save anywhere from like 50 to even 70% on your PC's cost. So that's my story and those are my suggestions. But now let's talk about how you can actually get a PC as quickly as possible. The easiest and fastest way to get a PC is kind of boring, and that's to get a job. I know lots of places are starting hiring as young as 14, which is likely a good portion of you viewers watching this. So if you meet the age requirements, go out and apply for a job. It's pretty crazy seeing how fast you can make a decent amount of money if you've never had a job before. I remember really wanting a PC from the time I was 15 all the way until the time I was about 17 and a half. Those 2.5 full years of me wanting a PC, me scheming in my head how I was gonna get one, and when I was about 17 and a half, I finally picked up a job, and in just 2 months of working part-time, I was working 2 to 3 nights per week. In just 2 weeks, I had saved around $1,200, which was enough to get me a pretty decent starter PC. However, I didn't even actually need to spend that $1,200 because I was able to find that really good used deal. But if I wasn't able to find that, I still had enough to get a pretty decent PC. If you're not quite 14 yet, it'll be a little more difficult, but still very possible to get a PC fast. If you're under 14 or in your area they don't hire at 14, then you'll want to start doing sort of odd jobs. That could be helping your family, your extended family, your friends with different projects they're doing. You could see if you could get paid doing chores or work out some sort of deal with your parents or your guardians, and just take like 20 minutes and brainstorm different ways that you think you would be able to earn money. When you actually put yourself out there, you'll be pretty surprised with how many people actually pay you to do stuff. Then you just save that money until you have enough for your PC. If you're interested in learning more ways you can earn more money while not being old enough for a proper job, or to add on more money on top if you do have a job, head over to my finance channel and subscribe. I haven't posted any videos there yet, but I am working on some, and I'm going to be posting a video on that topic very soon. And the last suggestion that I have for you, this could actually work for anyone, whether you're too young to get a job or you have a job but you just don't have enough saved, is to convince someone in your family or potentially a family friend to either loan or invest the money in you to get your PC. If you're motivated and you think you'll be able to earn money by using your PC, whether that's through video editing, designing, content creation, competitive, if you think that you'll be able to earn money through your PC, tell them about that, express your thoughts to them, and tell them that eventually you'll be able to pay them back a little bit more money than they gave you for the PC. If you can talk to the right person, they might be willing to do something like that, and that'll allow you to get your PC and get you working way more quickly. I hope this video helped, and I also hope you were entertained, and I hope to see you guys in a future video.